Around the world, over 400,000 camps were built between 1933 to 1945. However, have only 24 concentration camps that are well known. Another name for concentration camp is concentration lager.
Concentration camps were in Nazi Germany between 1933 till 1945. The term of concentration camp refers to a camp which is people are detained or conflict, usually under harsh conditions.
Sachsenhausen, it also called Sachsenhausen-Orienburg, one of the major Nazi German concentration camps, located at the edge of Orienburg, 21 miles northwest of Berlin. Sachsenhausen was established in 1936 as the Northern German. It wasn't built with the facilities to carry out mass murder, but its featured guard towers, high wall with barbed wires, and a lethal electric fence encircling a death strip. Sachsenhausen first began after the Night of Broken Glass in November 1938. Some 10,000 of Jews were rounded and transported to Sachsenhausen, and about 450 were murdered shortly after they arrived. Some of people died there, but mainly it from the disease and overwork in the local factories. In 1943, they added a gas chamber. It was used for only special order.
The first Nazi camp is based in Auschwitz. It's also called Auschwitz-Birkenau. It's also a Nazi Germany's largest concentration camp and extermination camp located near the industrial town of Auschwitz in southern Poland. It's also set up in May 1940. Auschwitz was actually 3 camps in one prison camp, an extermination camp and slave labor camp. Now is known as Auschwitz. Its site covers 40 square kilometers and is also known as the death camp in Germany. Auschwitz have become the first site of the final solution by Holocaust. Between 1.1 and 1.5 million people died at Auschwitz. But the biggest camp in Germany, which is Dachau Germany camp or Dachau, the first Nazi concentration camp that trained SS, which is opened in March 1933, shortly after Adolf Hitler, 1889 till 1945, became Chancellor of the Germany, but is located in southern Germany, and during the first year, the camp held about 4,800 prisoners in it. During World War II, the main camp was supplemented by about 150 branches. In the course of Dachau's history, at least 160 prisoners passed to the main camp, and 90,000 to the branches, and 32,000 of the prisoners died from their diseases.
Polish-Chernobyl, Nazi German extermination camp in German-occupied Western Poland. It opened in December 1941 and closed in January 1945, and it was operated to execute Jews, most of whom were Polish. As the first camp to conduct mass execution of Jews, Chernobyl introduced the deadline phase of the Holocaust. It's the system that killing of 6 million Jewish men, women and children and millions of other, all of this by the Nazi Germany, and it collaborates during World War II. The facilities include 3 gas vans and 2 crematorium that were 32.5 feet, 10 meters wide and 16 to 19 feet, 5 to 6 meters long. Gassing began on December 8, 1941. Then the existence of Chernobyl was no secret. An early Jewish escaped in June 1942 and got a word to the Polish government in London. Himmler established a concentration camp on autumn 1938 and was especially built up for women. It was a small village near Fürstenberg. On May 18, 1939, the first prisoners arrived with the number of 860 German women, and 7 Austrian women. As time passes by, the number of prisoners continuously increased. The camp got enlarged since there were 132,000 women there, but on April 30, 1945, the Russian army liberated the camp. The camp at Rosenberg was opened at the beginning of May 1938, and prisoners were brought from Dachau. It was originally intended for illegally criminal and social prisoners. It actually decided to hold 1,600 prisoners. However, it started to increase to 3,000 prisoners, and later on, it started increased to 15,000 prisoners were squeezed into a very terrible condition. And they had been used for slave labor. For example, they worked in the granite quarries. The stone they carried was used to build many of the Nazis' monumental buildings. So they will use them as a labor, and then later on they will plan to murder them. Adolf Hitler had constructed the camp at 1933, even before the World War II began at the 1st September 1939.